Don't try to be perfect. I'm telling you, this is killing your nail business on the whole. We're going to talk about all of this right now on the Biz Talk. It's tough, Tracey.
I knew this was coming.
It's really, listen, it's hard being perfect. Like this, I'm glad we're talking about this today because I can go on for a very long time. It's a burden to be perfect.
It's interesting because I was going to say, Habib, it's really refreshing that you quit trying to be perfect a long time ago because it's apparent that you quit.
Tracey, you can't quit something that you don't have any control over. And I don't have any control over being perfect in your eyes, not to the rest of the world. I'm just talking about you. Like, I know I hold this idea for you of like, perfect. My boss, Habib, is just, God, the guy's amazing. And hey, look, I apologize for that. I'll make some changes. Okay. I'm gonna tweak it for you. Make it so that I'm not so perfection.
Sorry, I zoned out. What were we talking about?
We're talking about me being a role model for you. That's what this episode's about. I'm your role model.
Okay. I got nothing. That
laugh was way too real and way too genuine. I'm offended. Okay, you turned the tables.
I accomplished it.
Yes, you did good. Okay. This idea of perfection is like a disease. It's like really in the nail industry, right? My goodness, like I do a social media class, right? You do the OWCs when we were doing them. I would imagine, like I see it there. It prevents people from doing anything on social media. Yep. It also prevents people from achieving like a level of speed and preventing them from just completing a set of nails, right? Yeah. But I really want to talk about this. Let's talk about it on the nail side. What do you see, Trace? Like, what have you seen in your experience? Like, I mean, we were doing, I don't know how many OWCs you've done, but you've seen it firsthand, like this idea of perfection. Like, what's happening with nail techs?
They are paralyzed with fear because they've seen so much social media and what they should look like.
Yeah.
And so if they can't accomplish that, then they're not going to do nails, or they're not going to start doing nails. I have to get this before I can take clients.
Right.
And it's like, first of all, I can tell you that a lot of times those pictures are doctored, which we all, do a little photoshopping.
Sure.
But, if you actually saw these people's nails in real life, they're beautiful nails that, if you look really close, probably have some flaws.
Yeah. I'm actually on one hand thankful for social media because the way that things were, so there is that idea, right? Yeah. Like people see like fitness people and
I
models.
think it's gotten better though.
It's gotten better
Way
for sure.
Better. There was a point where it's like, oh come on.
Well, even Tracey, like let's talk about, pre-social media when really the only type of content we got was through the magazines and like the covers.
Yep.
That's like all day set. And you're literally, because we've been there when Greg was doing a cover of a magazine, and he'd spend all day on one hand.
On one hand.
And then they would do multiple pictures, and then there was like tons of photoshopping on top of it.
And then you had to remove them because they're so thin.
They're not going to last.
Because it's a camera.
Right.
It puts weight on you,
right.
And does the same thing with nails. So they're not going to last, so they have to be removed. So
right.
It's just completely unrealistic. And that's before kind of social media, when we teach OWC, I'd be like, quit showing your customers those magazines. Those are for you to get ideas, not for you to put out as examples. Get them out of your lobby.
Yeah, I completely. And then you've got social media came along, and it's still there though, right? So there's an improvement because you do see a little bit more like reality on social media, but you also do see, you know, these sets that you're just like, oh, my nails have to look like that. And you're holding yourself up to this standard that's
unrealistic.
It's not real.
And that's the one thing that I do appreciate, that I do find that people have gotten better. And what we discovered quickly when we were doing social media is we thought we also had to have these perfect nails and these perfect videos and all these things. And we started putting some more raw, and I don't mean ugly. I mean raw as in natural. This is what it really looks like once you're done. Cameras, they show everything. And we talked about this morning on Twitch. They're high def. People, you zoom in, you see every single one of your flaws. But we started putting more realistic, natural, salon successful nails.
That's it.
And people were like.
It went through the ceiling.
Yeah.
It was because it's refreshing, right? Because it's real.
Yeah.
And this is one of the things that I've always found so interesting when you talk about speed is so many professionals spend an enormous amount of time on prep, trying to get prep the nail absolutely perfect before you can even put, you know, your forms on or start to put any product on the nails. And the amount of time that is really wasted in that process, you know. And then in if there's something that they're only going to notice, right? They complete the nail, they file them, they're done, they put their top coat on, they look, and then they're just like instantly judging, right? Oh my God, I see something here and I see something here and I see it's like, what are you doing? It's like that set is done out. If you see something,
your customer's happy. That's the main thing. It's like, is your customer happy? Well, yeah, but I don't want to hear it because honestly, we will pick. I do it. I'll pick a set apart, and sometimes I'll forget that I did the set, and I'll see a picture of it. I'm like, oh, those are really nice. Oh, I think I did those. But it's
That's hilarious.
Because you tend to want to acknowledge the mistake before the client acknowledges the mistake or what you deem as a mistake. And if someone else had done those nails, you'd be like, oh, those are beautiful.
Yeah.
So that's what you have to. And that's the talking about OWC. The one thing that we fight a lot is, but I don't do that. I have to make them. I'm a perfectionist. I love that word. I'm a perfectionist. Girl, you have no idea. So was I. Was I. And like to the literal sense. And people think that's funny because you watch my videos. I'm definitely not a perfectionist. But I was. Everything had to look good through the whole process. And the one thing we fight over and over is, could you just, this one time, you're not really doing a client. Could you just let it go this time? Just once.
And how hard is it for them?
It's very hard for them. But once they do it and their set's done, they're like, oh my God, it looks better than what I was doing. Yes. That's
Freedom.
Why you paid us to come here. But it is hard to get over.
You know, I think the first sort of like step is this idea of perfection is it doesn't exist. It's not real. And we're striving to try to get this like perfect set of nails, but you're going after something that isn't real.
The unicorn. Yeah.
It doesn't exist. Like life is not perfect. Human beings are not perfect. Nothing in this world is perfect. Why are your nails supposed to be? Why are your nail pictures supposed to be? What is there? Is there something that's changed where it's like, okay, I know that the world isn't perfect, but my nails need to be, and my pictures have to be. So, I'm going to zoom, and like, oh my God, there's a little dot there. So I'm going to, remove it, or, oh, I can't post these, and then, what perfection leads to?
Nothing.
No, Tracey, that's exactly correct.
Is it?
It is. And so this is what happens. Someone, and I've dealt with, we've hired people in the past, even before you were here, that were hugely obsessed with perfection. And you know what they got done? They got nothing done for two reasons. Number one, they couldn't start a project. It was hard for them to start a project because they knew if I start this, it has to be perfect and I can't finish it until it's perfect. And so getting them to start a project was nearly impossible. Number two, the amount of time it took to finish the damn project was forever. And 9 times out of 10, they would get like in the middle of it and then just stop.
Yeah.
So when you say nothing, it's exactly true. Nothing ever got done because you're trying to live up to an ideal that doesn't exist.
You know what? Another reason why it doesn't exist? Because it's not going to be perfect to somebody. You can have
right. It's
what
subjective.
You think is perfect, and
right.
your client think is perfect, and the person sitting next to him go, I don't like those. Those aren't perfect.
That's right. It's subject. Art in nails is art. Art is subjective. Mm-hmm. It's not like, this is wood. This is hard surface. That's not subjective. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Like this is hard and this is wood. Nails is art. Different opinions. People are going to be subjective. They're going to look at it and go one. So can you imagine if you complete your set and in your eyes it's perfect and your customer's like, can you change the color? Like I know that you like this, but I don't like this. You're going to be like
I don't
destroyed.
Like the shape. I don't like the shape. It's a little off. You're like, what? But because it is
subjective. It's subjective.
You can't please everybody. So
exactly.
And you will never please yourself. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah. And it's the only way to get information is to complete something. You complete it. It's not perfect. You get feedback. You strive for, I like to use the term like I'm in a continuous improvement mode. I'm never in perfection mode, right? It's always like continuously trying to improve.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
Perfectly imperfect.
Perfectly imperfect. That's such a great phrase because it's true. And I see it in our in the social media class, right? It's the number, my God, not just social media class, like anybody I talk to that doesn't post their work or for their business, it's always like, well, I don't have the right equipment or I don't have this, and it's excuse after excuse.
Mm-hmm. But someone else is doing it.
Somebody else is doing it.
And they got a lot of followers and they got a lot of clients and they got a full clientele. So
exactly.
You're in your own way.
You're completely in your own way. And it's one of the in my opinion, it's one of the beauties of social media is finding that, like, I want authenticity. I want at least some sense of like real, not like over photoshopped. And I don't like, for me, that's done. I don't want that.
And I feel like it is kind of done. Like the people are kind of really over it.
They are over that.
And they'll call it out. It'll get you more attention and more called out than if you just posted your nails.
Yeah.
It is.
And to that point, Trace, imagine if you only post like your work that's all photoshopped and perfect, and then somebody comes in, they're like, hey, I want this set. And then you do it on them and it doesn't look like the set.
Look, let me take a picture. See, it looks like it.
It looks like it.
It's like, ooh, I've got a lot of messages. But yeah, it's like eventually you actually have to do it. And the only way to get perfect at something is by messing some stuff up.
Oh, you have to
you have to do it
over and over and over. And
yeah.
Even then it's like, that's why I like to call it like continuous improvement. Like you strive, like the idea, okay, I'm going to try to make it perfect. As long as like, okay, that's not possible.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
That's not going to happen.
It's fun, like working on it and improving it. And I'm going to post pictures and you'll be shocked. I always that was one of our discoveries, like Tracy was saying earlier, was posting like salon nails and seeing like, oh my God, they're just cranking. And we're still surprised today by like certain content that does exceptionally well versus other content that doesn't. We think one video is going to do well and this one, we have no idea.
Yeah. I was just thinking too, sometimes it's funny. People are kind of refreshed because when we do our videos, we will show our mistakes.
Completely.
Like, oops. Especially me, I'm very heavy-handed, so I'm always filing away my glitter. And I show people how to fix it. And you'll have the one person on there going, that's not acceptable. My clients would not be happy with that. Why? I fixed it.
Yeah.
I'm literally showing you how to fix it, and you can't tell.
Well, Tracy,
and it was faster that way.
Why aren't you perfect? What? Don't you do nails and never make a mistake?
No, I make a mistake. There are probably 20,000 mistakes in one set. And that's the thing is like, I would rather see that oh my goodness, someone else makes that mistake. I thought I was the only one that did that. Oh, and she just showed me how to fix it. So we're good.
Because that's actually what happens in the salon. That's reality. That's what actually happens is you're on a client and something happens and you make a mistake and you fix it.
99% of doing nails, knowing what to do when you mess it up.
Dude, 99% of running a business is how to problem solve and fix. I mean, I don't get phone calls from our team of like, you know, hey, everything's going awesome. Hey,
just wanted to call and tell you it's a beautiful day here at Young Nails.
Dude, it's like things are just in line. No, the phone calls I get are like, we have a problem. We have a problem. We have a problem.
It always starts with, didn't set the place on fire. But
that's always how she starts it. Or like, you got a minute? It's like, here we go.
Got a minute. I do say that a lot.
Yeah.
You got a minute?
You got a minute? I sure do. Let's and same thing in the salon. It's like you're gonna do sets of nails and things are gonna go wrong. People's nail beds are not gonna be the same. Different bonding, lifting, whatever.
I've literally been finished filing someone's nails. You know, I have them up like this and I'm all
see you later.
Whoops. It happens.
Dude, I've seen it happen to Greg where he's like demo with like 50, 60 people around him and makes an error. Like, oh, whoops.
Yeah.
That happens.
People like it though. It makes you feel better that you don't have to be perfect. Everybody's making the mistakes.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Let us know in the comments below your opinion on this. You know, this idea of perfection and in the salon and your nails and even posting. Would love to hear about it. Tracey, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next time on Biz Talk.